Welcome to Why I Vaccinate, presented by the Franny Strong Foundation and the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. I'm Ann Thomas. I'm here with my co host, Veronica McNally. And Veronica, our first guest on today's show is Zach Yaksich. He is the president and executive director of Alanas Foundation. Welcome to the show, Zach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Zach,
Thanks for
just
having
start
me.
out and tell our listeners a little bit about this foundation and your family's experience with influenza or the flu.
Yeah, sure. Alanas Foundation obviously was formed in memory of my daughter, who was 5.5, and in 2003 died from due to complications from the flu. Um, at that time, before that, I personally, myself and my family, I had no idea that the flu actually could kill people. I was under one of the common misconceptions that the flu was just a common cold and it's no big deal and you'll get over it. So my daughter's life was taken rather suddenly, actually in less than 24 hours. Um, and she was other than the flu. I mean, she was healthy. I mean, she didn't have any other underlying conditions or anything like that. And so that after it happened, obviously it affected my family. She had two brothers at the time, and her mother and I, and then their extended family, immediate family, and community members, and so forth. It affects everybody differently, but it was devastating to all of us in different ways. It was very, very tragic, and still recovering today. So when it happened, I was insistent on learning on why. I wanted to know why. Why did this happen? I was just couldn't believe that it happened because of the flu. Um, and then I just wanted to tell everybody that was willing to listen to me that that they can prevent this from happening, to make sure that they get their family vaccinated, so that they don't have to experience the same tragedy that my family did. And so we formed Alanas Foundation, and Alanas Foundation, for the most part, is our mission is to inform people about the dangers of influenza, and and to encourage them to get vaccinated, and to make the vaccine convenient and affordable for them to receive.
Zach, since the start of this foundation, what are some of the things that you have learned that have been somewhat surprising to you as you've done this?
Well, like I said, the number of people that die every year and that get sick from the flu, depending on the reports that you read, but a pretty consistent number is, on average, there's about 60 to 70,000 people that die every single year from the flu. That was in 2003 is when my daughter died, and that's when they started to keep count and track of those type of things. Um, I had no idea that there's, probably it's, I think the number is 750,000 that people get hospitalized every single year due to the flu. And then there's the number of, there's millions of people that get it and that are stay home from um, school and work, and cause stress on the health system that, and like I said, until this happened, um, I was unaware of those numbers. And then the other thing is just the misconceptions that people have about the flu specifically, and about vaccines in general, um, are just surprising to me. What I hear every single year, especially people. What the most surprising to me is people that know my story, that know me on a personal level, and some of the things that they say to me. Um, Still, that, oh, it's just the flu, or no, I don't need the vaccine. I never get sick. Things like that are shocking to me.
Mhm. One of the things that you said that is scary to me is that your daughter, your beautiful daughter, was in great health and she still got the flu and she still died. Can you elaborate on that a little bit and what you've learned about how the flu can hit perfectly healthy people?
Yeah, like I said, she wasn't in perfect health. She was up to date on all her vaccines too, child immunizations up until then. One of the frustrating things about that was, like I said, at the time, the pediatrician, they didn't even recommend that my daughter, any of my children, get the vaccine.
Huh.
Um, their reasoning was, when I asked them why, was that it she didn't fall within the CDC's age recommendations at the time. But they
Mhm.
didn't. They I still felt that they should have told her parents that, look, here's the dangers. She doesn't necessarily fall within it, and give us that, allow us to make that choice. But she was 5.5 years old. She absolutely was in perfect health. She woke up on a Saturday morning and told her mother and I that, I don't feel like going to ballet today. I'm just a little, I'm tired. She had a 99-degree fever, and by the end of the day, she was outside playing with their brothers we had a snowstorm that day. I remember it vividly. So there was no alarming signs of anything that happened. So that evening, when she went to bed, and she woke up a few hours later, 106-degree temperature, vomiting, lethargic, delirious. So within hours of her waking up, we were in the emergency room, and with hours after that, we were having a doctor tell us that our daughter was not going to survive because she had the flu. So that's how quickly that it took somebody who was, for the most part, healthy, or was healthy, and in less than 24 hours, it took her life that fast. There was nothing, there was no leading up to it. There was no long term. There was no chance for us to do anything.
Mhm. Now, Veronica, I know you've got some questions for Zach too.
Zach, I hear your story and it just really hits me. And I want to tell you how sorry I am for your family's loss. And this is something that we want no parent to ever experience. You have turned your sadness and your loss into an amazing effort. And I wanted to just see if you could talk to us about some of those programs that Alana's Foundation does.
Sure. Well, like I said, our mission is to educate people and to educate them about the flu, the dangers of it, and to encourage them to get vaccinated, and provide them with the opportunity to receive it convenient and affordable. So we do that. One way is to talk to, like in a format like this. Oftentimes, I'm invited. Pre-COVID, was invited to talk in front of parent organizations, schools, community centers, and so forth, to tell my story, because it's always, we always often hear these statistics, and they overwhelm us, or they go in one ear and out the other. But when you see and meet somebody
Mhm.
that it happens to, it seems like people stop and listen. Um, and so then we set up communities, um, vaccination clinics. And this time of year, obviously, is the time of year we're very, very busy. Um, we've got ones, and we do that at fire stations, the school community centers, in the schools themselves. We do that at workplaces. We have many workplaces that contact us and ask us if we can set up a clinic at their workplace for their workers. Um, and so when somebody comes there, we don't administer vaccines ourselves. We're just the organizer, and we work with the Visiting Nurses Association. So we try to set them up around the community. Well, we'll set them up anywhere that people are willing to do it. And people can come there and receive the vaccine absolutely free. Most insurances cover the vaccine today. If they have insurance, we ask them to bring their insurance card. If they don't have insurance, then the foundation pays for the cost of the vaccine. So there's absolutely no out-of-pocket costs to the general public. So those that want to receive it, they're we try to remove the barriers. We try to make it, like I say, convenient and remove the affordability part. Um,
So you had some success with a program for colleges, right?
yes, yeah, we formed a called it the College Flu Challenge
Mm.
because I guess this is the fourth year now. You know, we found out we work very closely with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and one of the statistics were that the college students, for a number of reasons, are the lowest vaccinated population. You know, they're in their 20s, they feel inevitable, they don't have a lot of money, so we decided to create a challenge amongst the colleges to compete. So we have small, medium, and large school categories across the entire country, and we actually we have money available too, that the colleges can write a grant to the foundation to receive money to pay for the vaccine so that they can administer it free of charge to their students. And then we have the students, keep the schools keep track of how many they administer. And it's just a friendly competition, like amongst the universities, to encourage them to give to that population to get vaccinated. So, and it's worked out well. Last year was a little bit challenging with COVID, only from the college's standpoint of organizing and having people come to their. So, but this year it's picking up again. So
That's great.
yeah.
Mm. Zach Yaksich, you have made such a difference in so many people's lives by telling your story and starting this foundation. We can't thank you enough for joining us here today on Why I Vaccinate. I really think your story could help people who are on the fence about getting the vaccine for their children. I think it could change their mind, and we appreciate you telling the story, and we appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You are listening to Why I Vaccinate. Coming up next, the latest on kids and COVID. We'll be back right after this.